Hi, my name's John Martnick, and I'm over here at KVCC, and I'm part of the Grassroots Pandemic Volunteer Group, and we're here making these masks and parts, and we're going to show you how we make them. All right, so first we turn on the machine, and we wait for it to warm up. All right, then you have to go into the Tools button. You have to go into the Settings button. Then you go into the Change Filament button. You're going to hit the Load button. Before that, you're going to grab your filament, load it into the machine, pull it down, then you hit the load. It's going to take a moment while it heats up. All right, so it's heated up now, and we're going to start feeding the string in. Go ahead and feed it in. You feel it grab. Alright, it's grabbed, and we can look at the bottom now. You're going to let it grab until it grabs the... You'll feel it grabbing on and pulling a little bit. You're going to give it a little bit of pressure as it goes in. It takes a moment. It's going to be feeding out. You're going to have a big gob of it. And you'll know it's correct when it starts pulling itself through, like now. Then we're going to go ahead and hit done because we know it has it. And then we're going to take our handy clippers and clip it off on the inside. All right, so we have our filament loaded and we're all ready to go. We can hit the preheat button to preheat the nozzle, or we can just go right into our build. We're going to go right into our build. We're going to hit the storage drive. It looks like a little hard drive on the left. And then we're going to select, using the up and down arrows, the program we're going to use. And then we're going to hit build. This will heat it up. You don't have to preheat it separately if you don't want to. Because the extruder is almost ready. It's going to home in. It's going to bring the plate up about halfway while it finishes heating up. You need to take your tools and cut the extrusion just before it starts to print so that it doesn't leave a big gob on there. And that's all you want to do. You just want to cut it off. All right, so the machine is finished cutting, or machine is finished printing. We're going to go in and we're going to clip off the extra from the extruder. We're going to pull that little strip away and throw it out. Then we're going to take the piece out. We're going to grab our scraper. As you can see, this is the waste area on the top. We're going to go with the tape. We don't want to go this way because we'll actually rip up the tape. And we're going to go, and it's on there good. And we're going to scrape it up. That's why I like the bevel on this scraper. And you want to go so that you're not ripping up the tape if you don't have to. And you're just going to pop it off. And there's our finished piece. Then we're going to clean off the rest of this stuff off the tray here. Just carefully scraping it. Making sure that we go the tape way. We don't, like I said, we don't want to go into the tape because it'll peel up the tape. And we can reuse the tape. There's no holes in it or anything. And we're all good. And that's it. So here we got a plate. You can see it's got a rip in the tape, and we use the tape so that it's easier to clean and to stick to. So we're going to take this plate out to clean it, and you can see the rip. The first thing we're going to do is pull off the old tape. And on this one, this last piece is good, so we're not going to pull that one off. We're just going to pull off these two pieces. And this is painter's tape, so it's supposed to come off without leaving any glue behind. But as you can see, it never does. So you just got to scrape it off because you can't. That'll leave an unlevel spot. This off. We dried it off, and we're going to go ahead and take our tape. And we want to bump right up against the other layer. Put it down. Make it flat. Take our handy dandy knife, and right between the plate and the plastic, we're just going to take a quick slice, take it off, and then we're going to do the same thing again. Gonna bump right up against the other piece without overlapping. It's very important. Gonna make sure it's flat. And we're going to take our knife again, cut right along it. Then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to cut right along the edge there too. It's like a crack where it'll slide right in if you use a razor knife. Just don't cut your fingers. And that's it. We've replaced the tape on there. Now we make sure it's smooth and flat and level. Get that all off there, and then we'll be good to go. Apparently I didn't dry it good enough because it wants to come up a little bit. It'll be okay in a minute. It will dry itself out the plate, and we'll be all set. Layer, and you can see how it's separated over here. This is no good. It should look all like this, all the same. This indicates that the plate is a little bit too far away like that from the nozzle. So it means the bed has to be leveled a little bit, or you could have made a mistake with the tape layers, but that's not the case here. So we have to adjust the bed level a little bit and redo it. Level this out. We go ahead and go into the tools. Then we're going to hit the level button. It's going to home itself out, and it's going to ask you to back the screws all the way up. If this is not the first time you run the machine and you're just a little out of level, do not do that. It will be a rough day for you to reset it all. Go ahead if it's just a little bit out and leave it where it is. That way you just have a little bit of adjustment to do. All right, it says to screw the 3 nuts under the platform counterclockwise until they are tight, and then tap OK. We're going to skip the screwing of the nuts, and we're going to hit OK. Now it's verifying the distance between the nozzle and the plate, and it says this all on screen, so you can watch it and read it. You also have to make sure there's not a bunch of filament coming out from the bottom. You need to clip that and make it short, which I did not do, but I will do between movements in a second. All right, it's telling me I need to adjust it. It makes a noise. It's verify. We're going to hit verify. It's going to do it again. We're going to have to do this a couple of times. So Okay, so it's got the first point. Our adjustment was good. We're going to hit OK to move to the next leveling point. It's moving on. It's going to verify the distance. It says distance too big, so we're going to adjust it. It shows you the direction to adjust. You hear the noise? Go ahead and hit verify. Leveling complete. So we're going to go ahead and go through and do it one more time. We're going to do it off camera. Hit finish. So we're going to go back into the tools. We're going to adjust the extruder height now that we leveled it. We're going to go to settings. We're going to arrow down to the extruder calibration and select it. You need to make sure that there is nothing on that extruder and that it's clean. Nothing coming out. We already cleaned it. It takes it up to 0 on the Z-axis, 0 above. A regular normal sheet of paper, not a thick one, not a business card. Just a normal sheet of paper. Not newspaper, too thin. Not phone book paper. You got to make sure the end of it's clean, otherwise you're going to get a bad number. Plate's going to come up. First it's going to check it with the probe, and then it's going to come to center and tell you to adjust it. So you're going to put the paper underneath, and you're going to go one click at a time while sliding the paper in and out till it just barely grabs. You want to drag on it, and then you want to go 1 more tenth below that. It's currently at -1, and remember that number for your machine. And then you're going to hit OK and finish. And that's it. You're all leveled, and now your probe's set to the correct depth. Back in now that we've fixed our issue with the machine being level, hopefully. We're going to go back in, we're going to hit build. We're going to go to our hard drive. We're going to select our product, which in this case is a visor. And we're going to hit build. The machine's going to heat up for us. And it says it's going to take 40 minutes, but actual time is probably going to be about 43, 44 minutes. Get this out after we restarted it. We're double checking to make sure that the print is good. There's no lines or lumps in it. It's all flat and smooth and stuck to the tape everywhere. It's not curling up. It's not separating, so we have a good print so far. This is the first layer, and that's the one you have to make sure you watch. Usually after the first layer is done, you're all good.